It's time for Windows Weekly with Paul Thurrott, episode 134, in which Paul levels up again and again and again. And we've got our tech gifts of the year for you. Windows Weekly coming up next.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for Windows Weekly is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com. This is Windows Weekly with Paul Thurrott, episode 134 for December 11th, 2009. Prestige Mode. Windows Weekly is brought to you by Audible.com. For your free audiobook and a whole lot more, visit audiblepodcasts.com/Windows. And by GoToAssist Express, an easy way to provide instant tech support to your customers, clients, family, or friends. For a free 30-day trial, go to gotoassist.com/Windows. And by Astaro Corporation, makers of the Astaro Security Gateway, the best unified threat management device in the market. Call 877-4-ASTARO to schedule a free trial in your business. It's time for Windows Weekly, the show that covers everything having to do with Microsoft, which would be Windows. And we do it every week, so that's hence the name.
Thus the name.
Thus
and we
the
do
name.
it weekly.
W-E-A-K, as well as W-E-E-K.
As I call it, Windows, weekly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the star of the show, Mr. Paul Thurrott, the editor-in-chief of the Supersite for Windows, winsupersite.com, and news editor for Windows IT Pro, author of Windows 7 Secrets, and a man who has more achievements on Modern Warfare 2 than anybody.
Which in life are the achievements that really matter. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. We've decided that as we do the show, if Paul does something that I feel is good, I will play the Modern Warfare 2 achievements sound. It's a little Pavlovian thing. He'll start salivating. It'll be great.
That's right. Oh.
I have an achievement. I wonder if I could find that online. Let's just Google Modern Warfare 2 achievement sound.
It's more of a, I guess it's actually technically a challenge sound. It's the sound when you get a challenge.
Oh, a challenge.
And actually also when you get a, I'm sorry, actually the better one would be when you level up.
I have the level up. Okay. I have the malicious spawn sound.
Malicious spawn sound.
I don't think that's going to give. I don't think that's going to give you any.
I like the sound of that.
How do I level up really fast on Modern Warfare 2? Yahoo Answers. It's like how is Babby formed? Come on.
Listen, if there was a career to be made out of this, that would be the book. Modern Warfare 2, Leveling Up for Dummies.
Did they get dedicated servers?
Not on the PC. No, they don't have them on the Xbox at all.
And they don't have them on the PC.
I don't understand why that's an issue. And you know what? I shouldn't have said that because people are going to try to make me understand it. And I guess I just don't. I don't mean to say I don't care, but.
Well, if you don't control your own server, you don't control your own destiny.
What? I guess. I just played on Xbox Live. It's great. Why? Are we overthinking things? I think there's a tendency to overthink things in the tech industry, and I think it's across the board. When people write me emails and they say I want to upgrade to Windows 7. Here's the complete layout of my hard drive. What's the best way to do it? And it's like really. I mean, just. I think we're overthinking.
We're overthinking things. Well, the PC guys, they say, hey. We dance with the one that brung you.
What's the best way to partition my hard drive? One approach would be to not partition your hard drive.
That would do it.
It'd be simpler. You'd have more time for your family.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, I have something here. Let me play this and see what happens to Paul.
Okay. That's it. That It's the best. That's what I want my iPhone ringtone to be.
Are you happy? Thank you to Dale Poco, who found that instantly.
It's the greatest sound ever. I hear that increasingly less now because
you've achieved everything.
I've maxed out at 70, and now I'm
what more?
Just racking up the few remaining challenges there are.
Isn't that sad?
Sad.
I'm going to send this to you. This is from ZEDGEZedge.net ringtones. It's a level up ringtone you can download to your phone.
Wow.
I could send it to your phone if I knew your phone number.
Okay.
And from then on, you, my friend.
I want to wake up to that sound. That's going to be my alarm clock sound. I'll just like launching out of bed, you know. It's going to change my life.
Oh, Lordy.
It is. You have to admit
it's a happy sound. Oh, it's a very happy sound.
It's good.
Wow. See, I'm here for you, Paul. That's just all I want to say is I am here to make your day. Let us get to story number 1, which is the big story that BitLocker has problems?
Supposedly.
So what's the deal? Well, we didn't talk about this on Security Now. This is news to me. What's going on?
You didn't talk about it, really?
No.
Maybe he recognized it as being the
fallacious
red herring that it was, you know. Well, it seems like every so often someone will come out and say, hey, we just found out this huge security problem. And a lot of the time it's not true,
right?
You know, and this is one of them. Someone had, come out and said that there was that they figured out a way to break into Windows BitLocker, which is
this I find hard to believe because this is this is using strong encryption. This is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah. Well, Microsoft responded to this, and they basically said there's nothing wrong with BitLocker. In fact, the technique that these people use works with any encrypted system. It's taking advantage of the fact that you're not using it correctly. You know, in other words, you have a computer running that has stuff in memory, and you hand it to someone, and you say break into this, and at that point they can't break into it.
It's still running because you logged in.
Right. The point of BitLocker is to protect the disk when it's not running.
Right.
You know, to protect it from people who steal it and then try to load the system. It's an offline kind of thing, and also I should say a boot time protection as well, but primarily an offline.
Right. I have that on my Dell. I have fingerprint, TPM and fingerprint authentication. Yeah. But if you're logged in, if I get up and you jump over and it doesn't go into the screensaver.
There's information in memory that can help a hacker get to the root, the encryption keys or whatever, and recover them. It's a sort of a digital forensics type tool, and as is so often the case, the people that come out and say this stuff, of course, are trying to sell you something, or they've created some tool that they're trying to prove how great it is, or whatever. And in this case, it's just sort of a non-story. What Microsoft is basically saying is, look, if you use this thing the way it's intended, you're never handing the computer over to someone who can then read the memory and have the time to make this work. That's not how this works.
We actually did talk a little bit about something similar on Security Now, which is a program from WeebyTech. Mm-hmm. Not a program, piece of hardware from WeebyTech that lets, if you're law enforcement, lets you, if the bad guy's still logged in,
sure,
you grab him from behind, you put him in a chokehold, and then you use this thing to keep him from his computer from going into screensaver or from unplugging.
Right.
And so that way you just kind of keep it logged in forever.
Right.
But that's if somebody's doing that, BitLocker's not going to save you.
Sure.
So that's what they're saying.
Last month, I guess it was a month ago, I was at Microsoft, talked to Mark Razinovich, the guy from WinInternals, who now works at Microsoft.
Yeah, love him.
Responsible for a lot of the tools that are now part of the Microsoft desktop optimization pack, the recovery environment that they have. And one of the things that's in this recovery environment, which Microsoft now provides to customers, is a way to recover an administrative password if you can't remember what it is, or if whatever, maybe the guy leaves, quits the company, never tells anyone what his password was, and you can't get into the system. You can use this recovery tool to get in. So I said to Mark Razinovich, I said, hey, where's the recovery tool for BitLocker? And he's like, what do you mean? He goes, there isn't one, is there? And I said, no, it's good. He said, there shouldn't be.
Can't be. You can't. Yeah. It's hardcore encryption.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Well, there were rumors when this first came out, that Microsoft in fact had some kind of master key somewhere,
right,
that they would allow law enforcement or whoever to be able to break into these systems, but that doesn't actually exist.
There's always that fear with a non-open source encryption, which is one of the reasons I kind of prefer to use open source encryption. But
well, as somebody noted to me via email, the technique that was discussed in this BitLocker case also affects or works with TrueCrypt.
Right, or any full disk encryption.
I mean, this is the way it works.
Including my TPM-based encryption.
Yeah. In fact, that was one of the big points. They said, even if you have hardware-based TPM, this method still works.
Right.
But because you have handed a running logged-in computer to somebody.
It's like giving them your password.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think once you have physical access to a running computer, all bets are off at that point.
Story 2. Can we still trust IE?
Speaking of Microsoft software we can't trust.
Are you getting tired of that one? Because I have others.
Listen to me. I never get tired of that sound. Nice.
You feel like you're playing the game?
Good.
Here's the suitcase bomb. It doesn't go off, but it's...
Oh, that's good.
That's just to get you nervous. That probably...
What you need is there's a little tick sound. If you walk around the corner and someone's put a claymore down, there's a tick, then you're dead.
This is kind of like that.
You hear tick, and then you're dead. Yeah. Which is a lot like using Internet Explorer when you think about it.
It would really be a good thing if Internet Explorer did warn you.
It's a little tick sound. Tick. And then your system's it's been remotely controlled.
It's like in the old days before, when they had to tap phones physically, you'd say, "Do you hear something on the line?"
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tick. Oh, somebody put a claymore in my IE.
Yeah, that's a claymore in my phone. That's the great attack of the future. Sorry.
I want to use Microsoft's browser, but it's slow and security concerns remain, writes an anonymous listener.
Yes, that person.
Mr. Paul T. from Dedham, Massachusetts.
Random Windows user.
Well,
Dear
Paul
Microsoft, T. I want to use your browser. I feel like I can't trust it. Well, Microsoft is in the middle of a campaign to get people off of IE6. It seems like ludicrous proposition if you think about it. I mean, it's 8 years later. IE6 was lousy when it came out. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Of course, they never updated it at all for years. They've subsequently released 2 major versions of the browser, both of which include major security advances and functional advances.
Right.
But
not that recently. I mean, 7 was only like a year ago, right?
Right.
I mean, it's all happened pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. But here we are. It's 2009, almost 2010. Yeah. Why are we still dealing with IE6? And the reason, as it turns out, as is so often the case with these things, is because of businesses. Businesses don't like to upgrade anything. And despite the fact that Microsoft has put out these 2 major releases of the browser, a lot of them still haven't upgraded. And it's getting harder and harder to secure IE6 because it's so ancient. And Microsoft is in the middle of a campaign now. They're trying to get people to upgrade to IE8. But, the embarrassing thing for Microsoft is that this very week they released a fix for a 0-day flaw in IE8. One that was revealed last month. And by the way, as is so often the case, and this is unfortunate but true, what's coming out now is that Microsoft knew about this thing months ago and did nothing about it. And it was only when it became publicly known, right, through some third-party group that released information about how you could take advantage of this problem that they finally fixed it. And this 0-day attack, so to speak, was actually known for some months. So, here we are trying to convince people to upgrade to the latest version of the Microsoft browser. And even this one is not safe. So I don't know.
Sigh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't everybody use Firefox?
No, approximately.
Actually, if you look at the numbers, it's very far from that.
It's getting up there. Yeah. But it's still, we're talking 30%, right? Somewhere in that ballpark, I would think.
It depends if you go to a site where geeks hang out or if you go to tmz.com,
Yeah, but, I would say most of the people listening to this podcast, we don't really need to worry about them. But
it's not for us.
Do need to worry about are our parents and brothers and sisters and people who aren't in the tech industry. And I can assure you, my parents have made no effort whatsoever to ever even think about using another browser. And they use whatever is on the system. And, Microsoft, to appease certain groups, isn't necessarily aggressive about pushing the latest versions of its browsers. And people like my parents who don't know any better will often just say no. And if they're running on Windows XP, unless someone else does something for them, they could still be running IE6. It's scary.
Well, yesterday Steve was talking. I don't know where he got these numbers, and I know sometimes we mock these kinds of numbers, but he saw numbers that say that 64% of all web browsing is still XP, which means probably many of those people are not using
those numbers shouldn't be mocked. I'm sure they're accurate within whatever group that they're monitoring. What I'm saying is they can't be used to measure market share or even really usage share of computers.
But they do measure web browsing.
They're certainly measuring people on the web browsing web in whatever group of sites they're monitoring.
XP 64%, Vista 23%.
Sure.
Win 7 3.77.
Yeah. So the people who are running XP, a portion of them are running IE6 still. Amazing. So I don't know. I've actually been using Chrome a lot lately, and I like it a lot. It's fast. It's not as convenient around some of the things I like to do, but it is fast, And Firefox, there's not much to complain about there. There's a huge extensibility picture. It's fast as well. And it doesn't seem to have the security problems. But, on certain systems of mine, and this is inconsistent, but again, it's one of the things I don't like about Internet Explorer is the inconsistency. Just bringing the browser up takes a long time sometimes. And just bringing it up to a ready state, it's not so much launching the window, but having it actually load whatever the home page is and allow you to type into the address bar. Seems to take a long time on some of my systems, and I don't know why. And that's just not acceptable. It's again, it's 2009. I was hoping with IE9, against all hope, that they were just going to say, look, we need to have a browser, but we're going to stop doing the rendering stuff. We'll adopt some. No, seriously, we'll
there's plenty of engines. There's Gecko, which is the Firefox engine. There's WebKit, which Chrome and Safari use.
I think WebKit is the
WebKit's great. It's super fast. It seems reliable. It's open.
Apple uses the same rendering engine in their desktop and mobile browsers. The vast majority of mobile browsing is done on Safari, on iPhone, and I think it's. Again, in the concept of platforms and de facto standards and all that, I think it's turning into one.
I agree. And you have an advantage. If everybody uses it, then it's easier for a website. You develop for the WebKit engine. WebKit is going to go to HTML5 faster than anything, certainly faster than Microsoft can do it in IE9 with their own engine.
And by the way, if you want to be laughed out of the room, go back in time 5 years and tell everyone that KHTML is going to be the future of the internet.
Which is what WebKit's based on. I know.
Think about it.
Who knew? But I think that's a little bit of a statement for why open source sometimes is the right choice.
It's funny, a lot of that. Well, yeah. So I would think of it more as a standard, I guess.
I think for open standards, for open. Well, no, but it is KHTML, But I think for open standards where you want broad consensus, where you're trying to support a kind of heterogeneous, difficult environment, it's nice to have a lot of eyeballs looking at it, a lot of people using it, and a lot of different platforms. This is what WebKit
using it in different platforms in different places. I think that's the key.
And there's a lot to be said for having a standard single engine that everybody can use. Now, there's also something to be said against it, which is from a security point of view, such a homogenous environment is easier to attack.
From a competitive standpoint, obviously, these people have to compete in different ways, not just the rendering engine, but
there's a lot.
Someone out there may come up with this third-party way to accelerate the web that's not compatible with WebKit. Then what?
Right. But there's a big difference. I mean, Chrome and Safari, Chrome's now on the Mac, compete. Even though they're the same engine underneath, there's definite differences between the two.
Yeah.
I think WebKit is kind of the future. And by the way, there's a precedent for this. Microsoft did not write the first version of Internet Explorer.
Sure.
They bought the code, right? They bought Spyglass.
Yeah, they licensed it from Spyglass, which was Mosaic.
Right.
Right.
So it's not, this code base is...
Yeah, why are we being so protective of this? Who cares?
Right.
Internet Explorer has some interesting functional things associated with it. There's no reason they can't make this browser just wrap it around.
Exactly. We're just talking about the underlying engine.
Yeah.
It's like
it would solve a lot of problems. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. In fact, for businesses, they could just have a switch where it goes back to the legacy rendering.
As they do now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, whatever. I'm sure they have competitive rationale for not doing that, but I wish they would.
Something about tangos in the Burger Town parking lot. Does that move you? Does that do anything for you? Does that get you excited?
It does.
So if I combine Tango's in the Burger Town parking lot and this,
I think I've heard that sound on that level.
Do your eyes go up?
You know, that's not it's not a multiplayer level for some reason, but I bet it will be in a future map.
Oh, that's a single player level.
It's part of this single player game, and also part of the.
So I'm talking the lingo, the kids' lingo. See what I go down and say, "Yo, man, Tango's in the Burger."
It's kind of like hip hop, but it's different.
We call it nerd hop.
Decidedly lamer.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we've got more to talk about, including what now is becoming the weekly update on the Windows 7 USB DVD tool. I know you're
never going to stop talking about it.
You guys are so waiting for that. Tech gifts of the year, what would they be? Other games to consider besides, yes, there are other games.
I'm told.
No one knows for sure, but I'm agreeing with you on your choices. And, of course, a lot more. But before we do that, I want to remind everybody about the great GoToAssist Express, which is a product from Citrix that, based on their incredible remote access, to give folks who have to do support, just to give them a little hand up. You know, this is the holiday season. A lot of you are going home to see family. And, of course, if you listen to this show, you're probably the person that the family says, while you're here, can you look at my computer? Because it's really booting slow, and it randomly plays Modern Warfare 2 sounds. And, of course, you're the guy or gal who's got to figure that out. Now, wouldn't it be nice if you could do this now, get it over with so you can enjoy the holidays? Maybe install GoToAssist, get them set up so that for future, you can fix it. And this is 30 days free, so it's going to get you right through to 2010. And then you could say, I'm done with you. Thanks for the turkey and the gifts. You're on your own now, my friend. GoToAssist Express is the ultimate remote access for the folks who are in IT and software support. And really, that's who's going to be using this. But I think everybody could use it for 30 days free. Go to GoToAssist.com/Windows. When you install it on your computer, you can now set up a support session with anybody over the internet. You just send them a link. You say, Grandma, here's a link. Click this. Oh, what does this do? Just click it. Oh, look, you're in my computer. Yes, Grandma, I'm going to fix things. Oh, look, the mouse is moving. That's so cute. You're such a good boy, Polly. So that was a little playback of a session I had with my mom just the other day. She loves it. She sits there and watches the mouse move. You can open a chat.
Like a cat.
Yeah, so you can say what's going on. You can transfer files over. So, if you've got malware bytes, that's the first thing you're going to move over. And, you can scan. And then if you're in the business, you can have 8 sessions at once. It's really great for that kind of thing. You could find out what operating system they're running, what security software is in the background. You give it a shot now, Mac or Windows. GoToAssist Express, brought to you by Citrix. All the data is 100% encrypted with the SSL. You get free customer service 24/7. You're going to love this. Free for the holidays. GoToAssist.com/Windows. We thank them for their support of Windows Weekly. So what?
So, by the way, not to get off track, but you reminded me of a story that I told recently. I hope it wasn't on here, but when I was a kid, my grandmother was over the house, and we were playing in television. Oh, one of the early video game systems.
Was that Mattel? Coleco?
Yeah,
Mattel.
Yeah, the Mattel. Yeah. And we're playing, and she's watching, and finally she says, I don't like this program. Can we change the channel? So we put in a different cartridge.
I don't like this program, Polly. What is it?
I laugh, but I still feel kind of weird about it. Like I did something wrong.
You feel dirty?
Bad.
Polly, did she ever say, you just changed the game, you bad boy?
No, I don't think she understood.
No,
I honestly don't believe she had any concept.
My wife does that all the time.
Yeah.
She says, this channel is so violent. It's just killing. Isn't there anything else?
I said, I'm playing Call of Duty. What do you want me to do?
Say, Mom. I call my wife Mom because I'm infantilized. I say, Mom, I got to play this game. I'm leveling up.
Old Lady Simpson. Which my kids enjoy a lot.
Mom, did you hear a click? No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't do that while you're drinking.
Did you click? Damn it. It's the last thing you hear.
That's the last. That's so realistic because it's probably, when you step on a claymore, you might hear the click, but you don't hear much.
It's like those mines they had in Vietnam, probably, where you would step. I mean, it was World War II. You'd step down on it and it would click, and then if you stepped up, that's when it blew up.
You have to stay there.
You have to stay there. You were going to die.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, that's the worst.
That must be horrible.
Yeah, I think the Germans did this in World War II.
Nasty sons of guns. I think if you see any Germans in Modern Warfare 2, would you get them for me? Oh. If there are any zombie Nazis,
if they are, they're our allies now.
No,
so
we love them now.
It's a different world.
I was listening to a German radio station, and on my it was an internet radio station on my Nokia, and the guy's English was better than his German.
Yeah,
it's kind of amazing. And when we have Chris Marquardt on,
those are the type of people spend time apologizing for the state of their English.
I know. It's so embarrassing. They speak English better than we do.
It's bad enough you're humiliating me. Now you just rub it in.
I'm terribly sorry. My English is, I'm afraid, a little bit...
yeah, that guy's from Slovakia.
I don't speak quite as perfectly as I'd like to.
Wow.
So why not?
Yes.
The latest on the Windows 7 USB DVD tool.
Episode 37 of the ongoing saga. So they re-released it. So all you people that were bitching and moaning about the supposed unavailability of the tool can now go download it, because I know you've been waiting for it.
This is the one that they got in trouble for because the source code was open source,
stolen from the open source project.
And they didn't write it, but somebody else wrote it. And
so after all this time, and it's been weeks and weeks and weeks, they gave the code to Raphael. I guess they talked to him before, and he looked at it, and it hasn't changed at all. They didn't change anything.
Well, at least they're keeping him in the loop now. He's the guy who discovered it.
Yep.
So it's the same code, but they probably went to the group that wrote it and said, are they licensing it now? I mean, are they doing something appropriate with it?
Well, it's A-okay to license it, I guess, but what they have to do is re-release
it has
the
to be
code
open
with any changes they made. So they've done that. So you can actually download the source code.
They've open sourced it
to this tool. Yeah.
Wow.
So in the past, Raphael had written some kind of a utility that would take this, would take an ISO file, and it would rewrite it in such a way that it would always work with this tool, because for some reason,
it only works with
certain
some
ISOs wouldn't. Yeah. But now, as they've released the source code, he can actually release a new version of the tool that just supports it natively. So he said he's going to do that.
He is just a little hacker, isn't he?
He's a little something. Which I say only because I suspect he's listening.
Hey, Raphael, you the best. I wouldn't want to mess with him.
No. Yeah, you give that guy your computer.
Ooh.
Forget about BitLocker. It's going to be the least.
Does he play Modern Warfare 2?
I don't think so.
No, he doesn't have time.
Probably will soon, right?
He's too busy,
He's too busy doing actual work.
Doing work. That's... Ooh.
Jeez, what was that?
I don't know.
It sounded like your knife, your throat being slit.
You went right by, yeah. Like man, it's dangerous in here.
By.
It could be a sniper bullet. It sounded like it. Oh. Just went by again.
That was like a near miss.
I think that's the train. The train to Tucson. Running a little late these days. It's a 10:04.
That's the best. Isn't that the best?
What is that? That's the challenge complete. That's the one you wanted. That's the challenge complete one.
I think that is challenge, and then the other one with the bump, bump, bump is the level up.
Level up. You're right.
They're very similar, as you can tell.
You've got them memorized.
Yeah. Well, I've heard them a bunch of times.
Paul Thurrott, name that sound.
It's obviously a helicopter.
It's a helicopter.
It sounded like it dropped a care package or something.
Exactly. It's a kill strike helicopter. You ready for this one? See if you can do this one. Tell me what this is. Do you know what this is?
Yeah, that's like the UAV thing.
Yeah, it's your radar. Okay, just checking.
Nice.
Because I thought maybe you were making the whole MW2 thing up.
Hey, listen, this is publicly documented. You could see me. You can see me in the listings. I'm up there. I'm in the top.
What really are you like? Okay, so your gamer tag is Paul Thurrott.
Yep.
And I could go wherever gamer tags are displayed,
wherever that may be,
in the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
And there you would be, like up at the top.
So
there?
Yeah, there must be a separate thing for Call of Duty itself, right? There must be a web interface for their, whatever. I don't know.
The Hall of Champions.
Right, the Greek gods of Modern Warfare 2.
The world's best gamers.
In the previous game, I was actually in the top, I want to say 15,000 or so. 15. I don't remember how high it was.
I'm going to ask the chat room. They're very good. They found me all these sounds.
Yeah,
okay, chat room, find me Paul Thurrott's gamer tag.
Let's find it if he's talking trash or...
The Hall of Justice. Featuring...
Justice will be meted one way or the other. whatever the outcome is. I hope you can tell how confident I am.
The chat room's like Ford Sync. They go, donk.
Yeah. And exactly. In fact, I think you have to preface it by
donk.
Yeah, some
chat room
gets them going.
Find Paul's gamer tag. Donk. Find Paul's gamer tag.
Did you say find Paul's gamer tag?
Yes.
Yes.
Working.
It's out there. I mean, so there must be a website. I've never done this. I mean, that has like stats or.
Yeah, there's got to be. Everything else has that.
It's in the game. I mean, if you go into the game, you can. You can see it in the game.
Yeah.
They don't make it easy. I don't think you can search or anything, but.
Moving along, the best tech gifts of the year. This is something we do every year, and I look forward to it because it gives me my whole shopping list. And I do this on the radio from time to time as well.
Sure.
People will ask me. I did one on Wednesday for KFI, my top 5 gadgets.
I've been reading those Jerry Parnell books, and I will no doubt soon go into my cellar and break out my old Bud magazines and start crying as I reminisce about the past. But he does something.
You've entered a zone. I think you're in the hall of the gamer. Let me call you right back. There's something going on.
Okay.
You've turned into some sort of weird robot.
Wow.
I'm going to call you right back. Something weird happened. By the way, I must have kicked sorry about the video going out. I think I kicked something. It doesn't seem that there should be anything I could kick and knock the video out, but apparently I did.
Okay.
I mean...
Can you hear me okay?
It's like if you designed a nuclear power plant. Yeah, you sound better now.
Okay.
If you design a nuclear power plant, you wouldn't put the meltdown switch by the foot.
Right.
Oh, that's
wrap the cord for this around your leg so it doesn't get caught on anything.
That's your foot-controlled meltdown switch.
Yeah. Just don't unplug that.
So apparently I can kick something here that takes us off the air. I don't...
Sure. By the way, this does not surprise me in the slightest.
No.
This is like a rat's den of wires instead of, thatch type things.
You wouldn't want to look under here. If a rat were looking for a wonderful, warm, safe place to burrow.
Sure.
Right at my feet. In fact, for all I know, there's...
Or inside my car, as it is the other place they go.
Yeah. Do you have rats in your car?
I have little rodent creatures that live in there, yeah.
What?
So what happens is every couple of years, the little channel that they live in will get clogged with their nest and their bones.
In your car?
And it fills up with water, and then it corrodes my wiring, and then I bring it to Volkswagen. The guy's like, seriously.
What the hell car do you drive?
It's a new Beetle.
The new Beetle has a little rat thing in it?
No, well, they made it their own thing. I don't know. They must be chipmunks or something. I don't know what they are, but they decided, for whatever reason, the inside of my car, not the inside, I don't know, up in the wiring or whatever.
Is it in the roof?
This has happened 3 times. No, it's somewhere behind the engine. Yeah, the last time the guy said, he said, I've recovered like a family of bones. Do you want to see these things? And I'm like, no. He said, no, you have to look at this. I'm like, no, I really don't.
Oh, my God.
I don't want to see the rodent creature. No.
Oh,
yeah, it's disturbing to me.
I didn't know that was possible.
I didn't either, but it is. Yep.
This is this is going to help my diet.
Okay.
Because I am now I'm nauseated.
Proud of it.
To be honest with you, I don't think I could eat a bite now.
I have a warm car, I think is what we're saying.
We found your gamer tag, by the way.
Yeah.
Live.xbox.com. Oh, and you're complaining about Anime Paul in your album art, and you do this.
I do what? What did I do?
This is your gamer? Is this little me?
Oh, the guy. Let me see. Hold on. Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It looks just like me. What does that say? Finished?
Finished MW2 Snuggle Player, it looks like.
Single player. I see. Okay. Yeah, you have a limited number of letters.
By the way, last seen 51 minutes ago playing Modern Warfare 2.
How long have we been recording?
Exactly.
Like, wait a minute. That's
51
minutes ago that we started recording.
I am not kidding. We have been. The recorder says 52 minutes right now.
Well, I often turn the game on before we record
because it gets you in the mood. You have 5 stars. Your G rating is
no. Okay. First of all, none of this is relevant. What we need to find is the Modern Warfare 2, rank list or whatever for people who play the game. Like this is just
just you. That's just your gamer tag.
That's anything.
Well, recent games. Look at no. Here we go. 23 out of 50 300 challenges.
Yeah.
You've achieved first day of school. It goes to 11. Blackjack. Charlie on our 6. For the record, unnecessary reference. Out of the frying pan. The Pawn. Whiskey Hotel. Desperate Times. Soap on a Rub. Someone like it hot. The harder they fall. Hotel Bravo. Good Lord. This is all your achievements, my friend.
Yeah.
And it says the date. This is like a record. If you were to murder somebody, you could say, well, Your Honor.
I couldn't have done that. I got 3 achievements on Xbox Live.
As you could see.
I think we would all agree.
By my gamer tag.
That I couldn't possibly have done both of those at the same time.
But there are a few left. The Price of War.
There sure are. Yeah. No, I have to go back and do it in Veteran again. That's a lot of these.
You have to complete the single-player campaign on Hardened or Veteran.
So I'm doing it on Veteran. So the very one on the top is the first Veteran achievement. So I have started the game over to do it on Veteran.
You complete SSDD and Team Player on Veteran difficulty. That's first day of school.
Yep.
This is impressive. You have 23 out of 50
this is not impressive.
By the way, I'm right next to you. Okay?
Yeah. It's a good.
See, Paul Thurrott, TWiT Laporte.
Your picture is just as recognizable.
That's how I feel when I'm playing Modern Warfare 2. It's like my eyeballs are popping out of my head.
Xbox trivia.
Yeah.
What's that? What is that thing? What are we looking at? What is that?
The page, you mean?
No, the picture you have of your face.
That's me. That's we call it, Paul, in the business, we call it an avatar.
Right, but do you know what is that creature? Do we know?
Do you know?
It looks like, it reminds me of that one of the first Xbox 360 games that came out.
I think it's a Weeble. Because Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
I can't think of the name. It's awful.
So you've actually seen that.
I'm wondering if this isn't from that game. So one of the first gen games, you could play as different characters, and it was like kind of an adventure game. And
that must be me.
I wonder if that's.
I don't think I played that game. I don't know. I just it was whatever they they served me up. I mean, obviously, if you look at this, I've done nothing. I've accomplished nothing in my life. Zero achievements, 0 challenges, 0 of 50. Everything's locked.
You might look at it in a slightly different light and say that maybe you did something more meaningful.
No,
I like the one where the guy's kicking someone between the legs, by the way. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. That's called unnecessary roughness.
Yeah.
Use a riot shield to beat down an enemy in single player or special ops. And then...
Yep. Yeah. You kick them right in the...
You kick them right there, and they go, ow! And you get level up. Level up. Would you recommend... I think you would. What am I asking? You would recommend an Xbox 360 and Modern Warfare 2 for one of your tech gifts of the year, I would imagine.
Yes. Yes, I would.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
He's the best color commentator in the game.
Yes, I would. So, but... Not every. Is there a? By the way, is there a Modern Warfare 2 special edition?
There
Xbox?
is. You're ruining my tip of the week.
Oh, shh! Don't tell anybody. Okay, we'll move on and pretend I said nothing. But if not, what else would you recommend?
Well, I have a little list of things here. I mean, I was wondering if you had some of your own, of course.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly. I got Modern Warfare 2 on the Xbox 360 and got to play it for 24 hours before it got the perfect circle of death scratch on the disc.
Right.
And now I don't know what to do. Can I return that saying, oh, something happened?
You can try.
I don't think I could get my money back.
How old is it? This is a fairly new.
The first day. I mean, the Xbox is brand new. Because remember,
we went through this. I think.
Yeah, because I bought the Xbox Arcade on your recommendation because I'd had after my third Red Ring of Death.
Yeah, right.
So, or maybe it was
Xbox 360s have this problem sometimes where they like to etch a design into the disc.
Perfect circle.
Yeah.
Now it never happened on the old Xbox.
No. I have several. Games
happening on the new one.
This has happened to. Yeah. So I always buy my games at Best Buy.
Oh yeah, they polish it. Will they polish it?
No, but you can spend a couple of bucks extra and get a replacement guarantee. No questions asked. So when this happens, you can, replace it for free. But where did you buy it?
Amazon.
Can't you just exchange it?
Amazon.
Oh, they'll exchange it. They're great.
Yeah. I guess I should do that. I'm
going to do it as quickly as possible.
I pressed the chat room sync button. Dunk.
Yeah.
And I said, find avatar. Dunk. And they did.
And
that's it. Cameos, elements of power, pictures.
Yep, that's exactly the game I was thinking of.
And there I am.
Yeah, Cameo.
Next to the hot chick in the mini.
Yeah. No, this is one of the launch games. This was a fun game.
And so I didn't know, but that's my avatar.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I thought it was.
Boy, you're good. You named that avatar in one note.
Well, I didn't. I didn't think of the name, but it was. I knew it was one of the.
It was a launch game, launch title. Yeah. And the chat room is pretty impressive that they found that.
There.
Boy, did they just came up with that.
We should rename the chat room, I think, to the Ford Sync chat room. That's good.
That's a good idea. We could start taking sponsorships like Major League Stadiums.
Exactly.
We could call Safeco chat room.
You should do it.
And now in our Safeco chat room.
Sure.
Okay, so I agree with you. Okay, I'll tell you what I told Bill Handel for my gadget ideas. But remember, I'm talking to a broad radio audience. So I mentioned the Firefly cell phone, which is a kid's cell phone. It's got two little ears, and it's big buttons that call mom, call dad, call the hospital.
Nice.
And so that's for the little kids. I mentioned the Logitech. I had to find something that wasn't like $400, so I mentioned the Logitech MX Anywhere mouse, which I really like. It works on any surface.
Okay.
And it has that clutch scroll wheel where you press the scroll wheel and then can spin it.
Okay.
That probably is great for Modern Warfare.
You
press you press that button and something. No, not good.
Sure.
Then I recommend the Roku player, which I thought is a very $79.29 bucks.
Yes.
If you're a Netflix user, you must.
One of my friends is getting one of those this Christmas.
Great Christmas gift.
Yep.
I recommend it now. This is the pricey end of it, but boy, I love this thing. I've got it in my house now. The Sonos S5 Zone player. Do you know what that is?
Sure, I do. And I don't have one specifically because they are so expensive, and I feel like I can't recommend it to people.
It's $399 per unit, per room.
Well, now you can do the iPhone thing, right? You can use
this is your remote. Is the iPhone or your computer?
Yeah, I hate to say you could save some money by adding an iPhone to the mix.
Well, you could use a computer too.
If you already have one, that's something you can.
So slick, and I was looking for something that my wife could use to change the music.
Yeah.
So what it does is it sees all the players. The players are just kind of standalone. The only thing they just plug into the wall and they use your Wi-Fi. They're not.
Hey, let me ask you a question about your iPhone.
Yeah.
When you press a button on the screen, does it do something?
Why doesn't yours?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, you could tap something and nothing happens.
Yeah, like that. So you just tapped a button and then it launched an application, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice feature.
What does yours do?
It waits.
Oh, you need the 3GS.
I know.
You're still on the old one.
So I have to wait till January because that's when I can get the upgrade pricing, which is no doubt when Apple will announce the 3GS 2 or whatever. But every day is just painful for this reason. Because every time I press buttons and they don't do anything.
No, yeah. Now you restart regularly, right?
Oh, I just reset the whole thing, hoping.
No, I think that it's interesting because the Palm Pre, the 3GS, and this Nokia N900, which I was showing you before the show started, all use the Cortex A8, which is a much faster processor. It's one of the newer ARMs, and I think that makes a big difference. It's much snappier.
I didn't mean to interrupt. It was interesting to see an iPhone actually respond to something.
There's an app for that.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, Roku, Sonos. So I like the Sonos, but it is pricey. But boy, you don't need a stereo. It finds all the music on all of your computers. You can play that or Pandora, and I pay for the Pandora Plus account because, well, it streams at 192 kilobits.
Yeah. Okay. There.
So now, anytime I want music, it sounds great, and I can play. You know, I have a lot of different stations depending on my mood.
Okay. So, depending on which personality is available.
Which
day.
Which of the many faces of Leo is available? So what are your picks? I mean, and I think a PS3 would be a great choice.
I do too.
I'm never buying another Xbox. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Well, you see my gamer tag.
Sure.
0 across the board.
You may be more of a Wii guy.
Hey. I have a Wii. I did buy a Wii because I thought, well, I should have a Wii, right? Because everybody talks about the Wii. We played it for 5 minutes. Even the kids were bored.
Yeah, my kids have gone through huge periods of time where they don't use it. But every once in a while, something will happen. The Mario Kart racing was a big deal for a long time. The Wii Fit thing was a big deal for a long time.
Our business manager, my COO, Lisa, does Wii hula hoop every morning. That's her fitness routine.
That's great.
We're thinking of releasing videos.
I think it's great. I'm not. Maybe that's terrible. I don't know.
It seems to work for her. That's all I'm going to say.
No, that's good if she does it, But you could get Mario Kart on a DS, and it's the same exact game.
Is it?
Oh. They're identical. It's amazing.
So the DS really has as much power.
It literally is as good looking. Yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
It's weird. Anyway.
I like the DS. I think the DS, I didn't mention it, and the DS is a couple of years old now, but that's a great game.
DSi, yeah. It's a good machine. Yeah.
Now, you and I have a little disagreement because you recommend the Flip Minnow HD, and I'm recommending the Kodak ZI-8.
That would be the other one, yeah.
But they're, I think, roughly.
I think they're very close. Yeah. I don't have any real experience with the Kodak. I've heard it's very good, but the Flip is good. The Flip is good now. It's better than it was earlier this year, even. So they've improved it, and they're cheap, right? These things are like $129, maybe.
Yeah, the Kodak's $150. I think this is a great gift. I don't think people should be giving camcorders anymore. To be honest.
And the rationale behind something like this, by the way, is we go away with the family. We have 2 little kids. They need to be engaged in some way, and it's kind of neat being able to hand a kid a camera, or in this case a video camera, and say, "Look, we're doing whatever we're doing today. Just take some movies." It's something for them to do. And then sometimes they capture some stuff that's pretty cool. It's always funny seeing the world from the perspective of a child.
Yes. Yes.
So I sort of look at it in that vein. A year ago, I would have had a hard time recommending something like the Amazon Kindle, as much as I love it, simply because it was so expensive. And it's not like it's inexpensive today, but I think it's approaching. Yeah, $259. We're getting there. I think $200 is the break point. But
and you save money on books. And I have to say, the convenience of saying, "Oh, I want to read this book."
The improvements they've made over the past year are phenomenal. The international stuff is excellent. The performance is better. The battery life is better, and all that stuff. So. I would say the Kindle has kind of crossed the line, I think, for a lot of people.
I agree. The Kindle was on my list, too.
Yeah. Love it.
Now, what about a netbook?
So I don't have a lot of experience with different netbooks. I've probably only had 3 or 4 through here, but I really like the Toshiba netbooks, the MB205. In fact, to the tune of we now have 3 of them in my house.
Wow.
I had bought one each for the kids. Phenomenal battery life, 8-9 hours. I was out in Seattle, and I wanted to get a netbook, and I actually would have gone with a different model, but I wanted to get one that had excellent battery life. And I know there's an Asus now that's like that, and various other ones, but they didn't actually have the other 2 I would have considered, so I ended up just getting another Toshiba for myself, and it's fantastic, within the confines of what it is. I mean, it's not a gaming machine, obviously, but it's they're pretty expensive.
The first netbook with the NVIDIA Ion graphics is out now. It's the Hewlett-Packard HP Mini 311, I think is the model number. And that's under $300. And I think I'm sure there'll be more in the next few months with Ion. I think that's the way to go because the graphics is so much better. And, one of the things people, I think, want to do with this is watch video, and I'm sure you do, is watch video full screen like Hulu and that kind of thing. And you need something better than it is. How does the Toshiba do with full screen?
It's fine.
It does? Okay, good. Yeah. All right. So faster atoms are on the way.
I think that's the barely acceptable level right there.
Right, that's the minimum.
But I would say pre-Ion, you're talking first-gen Atom, essentially. I think Atom plus Ion is sort of like the second gen, right? Because it's a full chipset,
exactly,
full motherboard and all that stuff.
Yep.
I actually do have an Ion. In fact, I have it dismantled. I can show.
Oh, you have it? Oh, that's cool.
Look, it's a desktop, and it's this Aspire.
Oh, it's box. like a little Mac Mini.
Yes,
form factor.
And I've had some performance issues with this. I took it apart. I have to upgrade the RAM. But the really thing that's interesting about this system, and I would say, and this is probably true of any Ion netbook as well, because this is a netbook without a screen, right? Is that unlike a traditional, like they've been around for a long time, but a traditional Atom-based netbook, you can put up to 4 gigs of RAM in here instead of just 2, right? So that's a big deal. And I'd like
4 is a big deal.
4 makes a big difference.
So it can't come with more than 1 because of Intel's silly.
Well, it can't come with more than 1 if you're going to put XP on it, or if you're going to put Windows 7 Starter.
Oh,
that's a requirement for Microsoft. Okay. In order for a PC maker to license those systems, they have to meet. So it's not
Intel; it's Microsoft. I thought Intel was also saying, "Oh, how interesting."
They might have something separate. I don't know, but I do know that in order to qualify for XP Home today or for 7 Starter, Atom processor, 1 gig of RAM. If it has a screen, it has to be 10.2 inches or smaller.
Right. They don't want to cannibalize. So, what is the model number of this Acer?
This is an I want to say it's an R1600, which is this is the $200 version. It has no wireless card.
Wow.
It's literally $200 at Best Buy. I was amused to discover, it's an R1600. Right next to it, it was not an Acer. It was a different brand, but it was basically the exact same computer attached to a 19-inch screen for $300. That's classic.
Louise. Holy cow.
And I don't need a screen, so in fact, tying this to a screen would be a mistake, because what I'd really like to do,
home theater,
is put this thing right in the den. So
is it pretty quiet? Does it have fans?
Super quiet. Yeah, super quiet. Yes, I can't. I don't know. I'm not ready to recommend this one yet, but I think for enthusiasts, there's a model of this for $100 more that has a wireless built in. It has more RAM, and it might have a bigger hard drive. I'm not sure what the other differences are, but this thing plus RAM plus SSD, interesting.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I think it's real. What I find very interesting is we are seeing a real diversity now among PCs. Not only, two things are happening. Of course, processors are migrating, powerful processors are migrating into other parts of your life, like the FortSync into your car, or like your phones now are really little computers. But we're also seeing the PC itself transmogrify into a variety of different things. Very, very inexpensive netbooks, home theater PCs. It's very interesting. There's a whole ecosystem now. It's much more than the base box.
Back in here's my phone. So if it was 2002 or 2003,
I'll just take care of that. Hold on a second here. We'll just. Okay, I blew it up.
Yeah, blew it up. When Microsoft's partners, HP notably, and the other PC makers started coming out with media center PCs, of course, those first systems were often tower PCs, which is ludicrous.
Right.
They were loud. They were PCs. They're complicated. They tend to break down. They tend to have software problems.
We're in a different world now.
Yeah. These things, it's amazing how small this is. I mean, I guess it shouldn't be, because if you look at a netbook, you realize, this is what's possible, and there's the form factor.
Right.
It's basically an Apple TV sized deal.
We just get more and more power in a smaller and smaller package. And of course, that's where everything goes. We've seen this, it's Moore's Law for 40 years now. And it's just, we're on the elbow of it. So we're starting to see some really amazing shrinkage.
Sure.
Let's take a break. I want to get game recommendations from you, since you seem to be, I don't know, a gamer.
I'm sorry,
Could be wrong on that, but you just seem to like the games, and I have some too.
Okay,
I'll do the PS3 games.
Okay, do they still make games for the PS3?
Never again, my friends, will I darken the door of Xbox land. You have my word on it. For first 3 Red Rings of Death, then the Perfect Circle of Hell, and I'm done. I don't care if Major Larry Herb to the rescue. I don't care if Major Nelson calls me up personally, comes to my home, and drops off 100 Xboxes.
Wow.
That's it. I'm done. So I'm going to make some PS3 recommendations.
That hurts.
Yeah, I bet it does.
But the PS3 is a fine streaming media machine in a Windows network. I will say that.
You know, it does Netflix now. But you know it's really lame? I'm going to save it. Okay, I'm going to save it. I'll save it. I'll save it. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. But first, I want to talk about the folks at Astaro who do a fantastic security product. We don't talk about Astaro much on this show, and I think we ought to talk about it more because they do the Astaro Security Gateway. Now, this is really for business. I wouldn't necessarily look at it in the home, although if you want to use it in your home, you don't have to pay anything for it. It's open software that you can download either a VMware appliance and put it on a PC, or you can even download the software itself, version 7 from astaro.com/security now, I think is where we put it. We should have a /Windows, but we don't. However, I want to talk to the folks who are trying to protect their businesses right now. Boy, that's an important job. The Astaro Security Gateway is the ultimate UTM for your business. This thing does it all in a beautiful, rock-hard steel case. Just gives you a sense of security. Of course, the best of open source and commercial software, including the best network protection, a firewall, doing SPI, the intrusion protection, yes, but also dual virus protection for email, antivirus for websites, because that's where the vector is these days, complete content filtering. You can control spyware, instant messaging, peer-to-peer, all of that stuff. You've got remote access and VPN built in. In fact, the VPN supports SSL, which makes it so much easier. You've got all the ones you want to, IPsec, L2TP over IPsec and PPTP tunneling. But you can use SSL, which means your browser just does it, and you're VPN'd in. Great for the boss, because he's kind of a nerd, isn't he? He's a nitwit. He doesn't know how to use this stuff. OpenPGP and S-MINE encryption, decryption, transparently, signing transparently at the gateway. You got to try it. In your home, download it. In your office, get a free demo. Just call 877, the number 4, Astaro. 877-4-ASTARO. 877-427-8276. That's in the U.S. Outside the U.S., www.astaro.com. These guys are fantastic. I've been using this for 4 years now. And I'll tell you, it's the best. Astaro.com. We thank them so much for their support of Windows Weekly. Paul has that lean and hungry look, the look of a man who has spent too much time leveling up.
Too much.
Did it again.
I think I've spent just the right amount of time.
I can get Modern Warfare on a PlayStation 3, can I not?
Yes, you can.
And I can play it against others in my neighborhood. No, not somebody like you.
Yeah, no. Yes, I mean, you probably could do that, yes.
They have servers.
You would have to put up with the fact that you'd be using a PS3 controller, which, let's face it, is not as...
Really? You don't like it compared to the Xbox?
As good? No, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I see. I'm not a hardcore gamer.
You know?
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've been playing a game that I really like.
Okay.
And I can't remember the name of it. That's how much I like it.
It's not the Oregon Trail, is it?
Yeah, it's good. So the settlers, you gotta figure out how much they're gonna need.
7 cities of gold.
And Leisure Suit Larry, baby.
Sure.
No, is it called Prototype? What is it called? It's
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, it came out this.
That sounds like a PS3 exclusive game.
It is. No, there's an Xbox 360 version of it. Yeah. You kind of can be. It's an open world. You can be anything you want, and you go around. It's an action adventure. It's cool. I really like it. But I've been playing that a lot.
Do you kill terrorists in this game?
You could, or you could just tour around. Kind of a.
It's an option.
It's an option.
Yeah.
I can adjust my biomass at will. Can you do that?
Sure. No.
I can leap and safely fall from great heights. I can detect smoke-screened enemies of other infected beings with enhanced vision.
I would point out that there is a perk in Modern Warfare 2 that allows you to leap and fall from great heights without injuring yourself.
I actually don't like games like that because what was that game that you were playing? I really liked that game where you would jump all over the city. What was it?
Assassin's Creed.
No, well that's good too. And the new Assassin's Creed is really fun. You're in Venice.
Oh, Crackdown, you mean?
Yes, Crackdown.
Crackdown, yeah.
This is kind of like Crackdown.
Yeah, Crackdown was good.
Yeah, I loved Crackdown.
Not as many terrorists, unfortunately.
Okay, but assuming that you're not playing Modern Warfare 2, what would you recommend?
The big one that I'm looking forward to is, and I have it, I just have only played the beginning of it, is Assassin's Creed 2.
Awesome.
Which now takes place in Italy during the Renaissance.
Yeah, I'm playing that on Xbox 360.
That game looks incredible.
Until it red rings or scratches.
Okay. So
it could happen any time now.
Okay. They're getting more reliable every day. That's all.
Inching towards reliability.
We're inching toward it not breaking occasionally.
Just, it's like Zeno's paradox. They're getting
make any guarantees.
No, I wouldn't want them to do that.
I think it's an important life lesson, that things disappoint you. And it's just Microsoft trying to help.
Well, it's working.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, the other one is Left 4 Dead 2.
Ooh, that's a good game.
Which isn't for everybody.
Well, you're killing zombies. If you're a zombie lover,
it's pretty gory. I mean, it's it's over the top.
But I think what I like about it is story.
Story?
Well, I'm just saying
a zombie apocalypse.
No, because there's the other zombie game where you're in the mall.
Dead
Rising, which is kind of almost comedic because you can hit them with anything, and it's like
I think
this one is more spooky. This one's more fun because of the atmosphere.
And honestly, the games that I play online, like Modern Warfare 2, when I play in a multiplayer match, it's really two teams going at it, but really it's everyone for themselves. There's no sense of team play whatsoever. In fact, I actively seek to undermine the other people on my team so that my score will be higher. One of the things that's kind of neat about Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 is that you absolutely have to work as a team with the other people you're playing with, and that's what makes it really kind of cool. So, for example, if you have a health pack and the guy next to you is almost dead, you have to give it to him, because if he dies,
everyone. That's the kind of game I like.
Yeah.
Because it's like real life.
Right. It's more, there you go. I was going to say it's more realistic within the context of a zombie apocalypse.
Right.
This is the more realistic game.
Right. It's not just slash and burn. I mean, there really is something going on in there. I really like that.
You can play as the zombies,
Another PS3 game that is exclusive that I liked is Infamous.
There is an Uncharted game. Is that?
Oh, Uncharted 2 just came out. That looks fantastic.
That almost makes me want to get a PS3.
It is beautiful. Now, I had a little soft spot for that because I went to Lucas, the Skywalker Ranch, and watched the symphonic recording session. Man, they put a lot of money in this for the music. It was incredible. And the guy who did the music's the guy who did the music for Firefly. So he's wonderful.
Good, yeah.
It's great music, and it's very realistic.
Do you know who did the music for Modern Warfare 2?
No, who?
Hans Zimmer.
You're kidding.
No.
Who's that?
Wow. So he's a...
Hans Zimmer?
He is a composer. And
I know the name. What did he...
movies. Yeah. He did the Hannibal movies. Cyrus movies.
He did Kraken?
We talked about a song by him a long time ago. He created an opera piece.
Oh, I remember.
One of the Hannibal movies. That's that guy.
That Hans Zimmer?
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I think he did Gladiator.
Yeah, he does dramatic stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the Ridley Scott type movies.
I like it when they get choirs together and all they say is
It's like the Glee version of Jump by Van Halen. Where they actually have the
mattresses. I saw that one.
It's unbelievable. God, they're just killing my childhood one note at a time.
Oh, but you're watching it. But you watch it.
No, I don't.
Your wife was watching it.
No. I just heard it on.
I actually like Glee, but then
I've never seen it.
Oh, I've seen every episode.
Okay.
My wife really loves it. But I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. And I love it when people burst into song.
Who doesn't?
How can you not love that? It's just good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. It would be better if it just burst into a Hans Zimmer song.
It would be better as if the guys from Call of Duty burst into that place and settled the score.
Took them all over. Take that, Lakeland kids.
That's gotta be my ringtone.
I'm sending it to you.
That's awesome.
I would agree with you on all those games. I think Uncharted 2. Now I should say it's a certain kind of person that plays Uncharted 2. It's somebody. Yeah. It's not a
It's an action adventure type thing, isn't it?
More adventure than action. There's a lot of climbing, puzzles,
like a Tomb Raider type of game.
It's Tomb Raider, yeah. And but the graphics are stunning.
But it's the type of thing you go through just to see it. You know, it's just so incredible.
Yeah. It's a little too much for me. A little too much. Where does that go? Okay, I got to climb up there.
Exactly. Figure out where you have to climb to or scale or whatever. Yeah. No, the Tomb Raider games kind of turn me off for that reason too.
But if you like that kind of game, this is the one. Uncharted 2 is good.
Yeah.
I would say Left 4 Dead 2, unless you have small children.
Right.
Or a squeamish stomach.
Sure.
Or rats in your Volkswagen. Wouldn't be free.
They're not rats. They're little
rodents.
There's something smaller, like a shrew.
Varmints. Shrews. You voles. It's a Volkswagen, not a Volkswagen.
It's a Volkswagen.
See, there was your mistake. You got the off-brand Volkswagen.
Farfanugan. Stuck in between the wiring and the water channel.
Far from chipmunk.
A heady mix of rodents and.
Yeah. That's why they call it a beetle. If you like the bugs, we have the car. Let's get our Audible pick of the week, then your tip of the week and your software pick of the week. A couple of really good items. We're doing Windows Weekly with Paul Thurrott. I'm actually torturing.
In case you lost track.
I'm torturing. In case you didn't know what the hell this was, I'm torturing him. I'm making the show so long just so that he can't hear this music.
I'm gonna have to So one of the things you can do in Call of Duty is you can go into prestige mode, and what it does is it wipes out all of your challenges and all of your guns, and you go back to level 1.
Wow.
And why would you do this, right? Because you get to hear that sound more because
you're starting up.
Now you're starting over and you can level up again.
It's interesting they call that prestige mode.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder what that what that means.
There's a certain amount of prestige to the fact that you're so good, achieved everything you can achieve. And now all there is to do it again.
Do you have to unlock everything to get to prestige mode?
You have to unlock level 70.
That's World of Warcraft. No, I'm not that dumb.
Huh? I've never played World of Warcraft.
Did they have a level 70 in Modern Warfare 2?
Yeah, level 70. It wasn't always level 70. I think in the last one it was 60, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, just like World of Warcraft.
I think I would because I did it 10 times or whatever.
Isn't that interesting? I wonder if there's something special about the numbers 60 and 70, the games.
Yeah, at level 70 you get the AK-47.
Oh, that's a crappy Russian rifle. It jams on you all the time.
It's good.
It's good, is it? It's better than it's M16, a good American gun.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Yep.
Really, Paul?
Yeah.
I think you're a Soviet sympathier when I hear that.
Wow.
I can't hear that.
I'd like to speak to someone who knows a little bit more about this game.
Okay. I'll get you my supervisor. We'll
Do we have someone who's not reading off the script?
I have a supervisor here.
You actually know this game, sir?
I have never played this game, sir. But I assure you I have been thoroughly trained in support. And I can help you. I have the notebook here. Audible pick of the week when the game was Larry Bird.
Yep.
You're a Celtics fan. We got to say that right up front.
I am.
So this is for the Celtics. Well, but wait a minute, Magic Johnson.
Oh no, it's Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
Was Magic? Okay, I'm going to feel really stupid. I thought he was a Laker, wasn't he? Yeah, okay.
He was. Yeah.
So this isn't for just like Celtics fans. This would be
no. This is for basketball fans
NBA
in general.
Fans.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, no, this is not a Celtics book. I mean, no, these are guys who hated each other.
They were rivals, weren't they?
Oh yeah, and it was a perfect story because they had nothing in common on the surface, right? One was flashy and one was kind of a hick, and there were different styles of basketball, different coasts, everything. It was perfect rivalry. But over time, these guys understood that they had a lot more in common than anyone would have thought, and now they're lifelong friends. And
that's kind of neat.
They reveal to each other that they had the same hang-ups about each other, things that they could never really admit before.
Oh, so
really
cool.
Interesting. It's a great book.
The thing that is wonderful about Audible is the variety of stuff. I mean, if you're a sports fan, if you're a history fan, if you're you like thrillers, you like mysteries, if you like Stephen King. When I first joined Audible in 2001, they had like 2 Stephen King books. Now they've got all of them. They had very little science fiction, and they took that very seriously, and they have beefed up to their science fiction to the point where they have recordings of science fiction books that were never recorded that they've made just because, they want to make sure that there's somebody, reading these things.
Yeah. There was an interesting story in the New York Times today about reading and how it's changed over time.
Oh.
And we actually, as human beings, trained ourselves to read. It's not something that we do sort of intuitively. It's something you have to actually force yourself to do. And it's amazing that we did that. But when you look at the way that people read today, one of the big arguments is that people don't read as much as they used to. But the truth is people actually read a lot more today than they ever did. A lot of it now is different type of things.
It's not books.
Websites. It's not books. But, books in many ways are a recent development historically anyway, when you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
But when you look at things like Audible and the electronic books and web and blog and all that stuff, I mean, the opportunities for reading today are actually so much more vast than they've ever been.
I agree.
And you can, with this type of thing, and with the web stuff, of course, too, with a portable device of some kind, you can be standing in line.
Love it.
Yeah, a lot of stuff out there.
It's a way to really use your time wisely, whether you've got a long commute. I'd use it at the gym every day. I listen to my Audible book. In fact, it kind of gives me incentive to go to the gym because I can't wait to read some more. I just love it, and I want you to try it for free. Audible.com/Windows. You get the gold account. First book is free. You cancel it any time. Book's yours to keep for the rest of your life. The book of the week. When the Game Was Ours, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Jackie McMullen. And if you're a basketball fan, this was the great era, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah. It still hasn't been rivaled. There are... You
got your Shaqs. You could make MJ. You could make some. Case that Michael Jordan transformed the game.
Yeah, he was a product of that era. But the thing about Michael Jordan was he had no equal. Right. And I think what made the Celtic-Laker rivalry of the '80s so interesting is that these guys were so evenly matched.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Michael was in a league of his own.
Michael was just all by himself.
Yeah,
and he was fantastic, but it was just a different kind of thing.
I was a Dr. J fan when I was a kid.
Yeah, I was not. Go figure. But one of the things that happens when you get older is you realize you come to respect these guys just like they did in this book. And I look back I see old footage now of the Laker games from the '80s. And I see guys like James Worthy and Michael Cooper and all these guys. And I think, my God, they're so talented, and I hated them so much. I hated them.
But that was fun. Passion. They gave you a lot of joy.
But I look at them now and I think, you know what? And Dr. J, same thing. I mean, my God, unbelievable talent.
The hang time and just
Yep.
When the Game Was Ours, it's giving me chills just to think about it. This could be yours free. Go to audible.com/Windows. If you're not a basketball fan, don't worry. There's a ton of stuff. Look what they're doing now. Audible Live on Facebook. They're doing a Dean Koontz interview in a week.
That's neat.
17th at 7 p.m. Doing it on Facebook. So just another reason why Audible's turning into, I can see what they're doing. They want to be a virtual bookstore.
Their insidious plan.
They do like the author events, all the stuff that, and I think this is great.
Which is smart because you listen to this stuff, and here's a way to do that.
You care about
in a live event. That's neat.
Yeah, I think it's really great. Audible.com/Windows. We thank them so much for their support and encourage you to give them a try. I think you're gonna discover a new world of reading. Let us get your tip of the week. I guess we'll start with.
Yeah, I was earlier in the week. There was actually a special. You could get the Xbox 360 Elite for $30 off at Amazon, but I guess that just ended, unfortunately.
Now the Elite. Give me. You got to help me as an Xbox expert. Elite, Arcade, and regular, right?
So actually, right now there are only two consoles that they're selling. Normally, there's the Arcade, which is the version that doesn't come with a hard drive,
and you can't add your own hard drive, can you?
No, you can.
You could any USB drive.
No, it has to be an Xbox 360 drive. So they sell 60 and 120 gig versions.
Okay.
Probably $100 to $150.
And what I did was I bought, and I guess, I took the red ringed Xbox. I didn't want to send it back a third time, and I just took the hard drive off it, put it on an Arcade, thinking that the Arcade might be more reliable. And it has been. It hasn't red ringed yet.
Yeah. Yeah, that will work.
But now I'm thinking, okay, if I send the old one in, I could have two Xboxes because I do like the.
You should at least find out if you can do it.
I do like the Netflix.
There's no. What is it doing now? It's a doorstop.
It's a doorstop. It's a very good doorstop.
Yeah, no, they're heavy. I get it, but I think that it's
also quiet. In the doorstop mode on the Xbox
quiet,
is very quiet.
That's the preferred way to use it.
Mm-hmm. It's almost silent.
It's guaranteed not to red ring. Well, used in this fashion.
But I do like, and this is true on the PS3 too, although the weird thing about PS3, you have to get a disc from Netflix, put it in the PS3, and you can only watch Netflix movies when the disc is in the PS3.
Wait, what?
Yeah, what? Exactly. It's got a hard drive. Copy the code.
Are you kidding me?
No, isn't that weird? But both Xbox and PS3 are better than Roku in one sense. You can choose movies on the device. You don't have to go back to your computer, which you do with a Roku.
This is desirable.
I love that. I love that. So,
it needs to be that way everywhere.
I'm thinking of, I have an old refrigerator, and I'm thinking of putting like some cords through it, and then putting the Xbox in there and sealing it up. I think that would have two benefits. One, it would keep it cool.
Yeah.
And the other would keep it quiet.
Yes. And this is probably the minimum size of a device that would contain the Xbox 360 and achieve both of those things.
Right. It's about 4 foot tall.
Yeah.
I'm going to paint it like R2-D2. It'll be like a little friend.
Yeah. You can't use one of those student fridges like you see in dorm rooms. It has to be a full-size fridge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All turned all the way up.
Right.
So there's an arcade version is still available, and the Elite
still available. They got rid of the midline Pro version.
Interesting.
They have an Elite, which is the black version. It's $300. But if you're going to buy one, if you get it during the holiday, it comes with 2 free games. So it's actually a pretty decent value.
Which
Lego
games?
Batman and
Lego Batman.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Lego games are actually pretty fun.
By the way. Kids love those. And then what's Pure? I don't know Pure.
I have no idea what Pure is. So sometimes when I read a word and it doesn't say call or of duty, I tend to almost gloss right over it.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Pure? What's
Pure sounds? It's a game of some kind. Apparently, I don't know.
Okay. Well, it's 2 free games. I mean, that's a $120 value.
Yes, or for $400. You can get the Modern Warfare 2 Limited Edition Elite console, which includes a 250 gigabyte hard drive, exclusive design that's based on Modern Warfare, 2 wireless controllers instead of 1, a wired headset, an Ethernet cable. Microsoft really lames out on this stuff, and this freaks me out, but you get a composite AV cable with a system that actually comes with an HDMI port.
Just in case.
Just in case you want this $400 thing to look like crap, you can hook it up to your 1979 RCA television or whatever. But you should buy. You obviously need an HDMI cable to get the full experience, or a composite or component cable.
$400 is a lot.
It's a lot of money, but so it's $100 more. But what you're getting the game. So the game is $60.
Okay.
So it's really $40 more. Okay. So for the $40,
do I get a helmet?
You're getting a hard drive that's twice as big.
Well, that's good.
And it does have this design if you happen to like the design. And it has 2 controllers, and actually a wireless controller.
You know what? That's a good deal.
A wireless controller is $40 right there.
Right.
That's
so actually, that's a good deal. If you're going to buy those things, and you will, you're going to buy 2 controllers. You need another controller.
2. Yeah.
You don't necessarily need another hard drive. I don't know. Do you really need a big, gigantic hard drive?
Right now there's not much of an excuse to make for that, except that they just released that Zune video service, and there are some people who are going to want to be downloading stuff to the hard drive. But the other advantage to the hard drive on the Xbox 360, and this is actually a big deal for gamers, is there's an install to hard drive option when you put a game in the console now, and it installs the game to the hard drive. You still have to put the disc in the drive, but what it does is it reads the game off the hard drive, and it's much, much quieter when you're playing the game. Because and faster, so you're not getting the disc spinning up.
I want that.
Yeah, well, you can do it with any Xbox. It's not just on the big one.
So the big hard drive makes a big difference.
As long as you have the big hard drive lets you do more installations.
Well, it would also solve the scratch, right? Because can I take the disc out?
And by the way, one of the things I do is we have 2 copies of an older Call of Duty game. One of them is scratched, much like the thing that you described. So I use the unscratched copy to install it to the hard drive. But when I play it, I put the scratch copy in, and my son can use the other one.
And that's sufficient for the copy protection to say, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if I could borrow a friend's Modern Warfare 2.
You can install it to your disk, and it would work.
That's all I need to do. Okay, you solved my problem. So now I just have to find a friend.
I still think you should exchange it if you can, but yes, that would solve the problem.
But it's not. See, here's why I feel guilty. It's not Amazon's fault. It's not a defective disc. The Xbox scratched it.
I understand. But Microsoft's not going to give you the game back. Somebody has to pay, Leo. It shouldn't be you.
It should be the people who broke it, not some random.
I agree with. I know, But ultimately, Amazon's about customer service. You probably buy a lot of stuff from them.
I do. No, they owe me.
I think they'd be happy to do it.
All right. Okay. Our guest is looking at his watch, so we better wrap this thing up.
Wow.
Steve, you getting bored? Steve and Lori going, it's been a long show.
Lori actually nodded off.
I get it. She's asleep. She's out. And I think Steve's really getting impatient. So maybe we just better get our software pick of the week and wrap this thing up.
Call it a day.
Call it a day. It's been a good day. Don't get me wrong. I think you get a level challenge just for being here.
Bring it up.
Oh, you want it. He wants it. He says, don't say it if you're not going to do it.
There's no software pick forthcoming, Leo, until I hear that.
Don't tease me. All right. If you do a good software pick, I will level you up.
All righty. So this week, Google released a new version of the Chrome browser that now supports extensions, just like a real browser. Isn't that cute? But actually, I really like Chrome as it is. And I have to say, there's the danger that they're going to careen off of this sort of slippery slope here with the extensions. But I was looking through the list of extensions they have already, and they're quite a collection. Many of them are quite useful. All the typical ad removers and all that kind of stuff. But there's some good stuff in there, and it's certainly worth checking out. Google Chrome is a tremendously fast browser.
I love it.
Again, WebKit renderer. And I think on the PC side, I sort of get a Safari on the Apple side, but there's not a big reason to run that on the PC side. But Chrome, at least, you get the same rendering engine, and it's updated all the time. But now with extensions, you sort of approach that Firefox value proposition.
Yeah, there's only a handful of extensions I use. If it gives me like the Delicious extension, I have a
I think all the stuff that you use would probably be in there already.
That's great.
Yeah, there's a really neat one that I got. I wish it's called. I think it's called Chromified. It's a Twitter add-on that's a little button that goes up in the toolbar, and you click on it, and it drops down a little window on top of the browser. And what it allows you to do is kind of track Twitter, both the general feed, the ones that are directed at you, and then your direct messages in this drop-down box, and you can respond and post your own stuff, and it's awesome. All right there, popped up in front of the browser. It's neat.
I'm going to check it out. Nice. They finally offer Chrome on the Mac, although I'm sure those extensions are Windows only. But
right. So the initial version of Chrome for the Mac doesn't support extensions. Of course, they're going to have that.
And I would love to standardize across them.
You've looked at it, haven't you? Or have you? Yeah. So the Chrome on the Mac is it's very Mac-like. It looks like a Mac application.
I feel very comfortable with it. It behaves a lot like Safari. I mean, it's kind of got the same guts.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
It does have the same guts. Yeah. Almost. They might have different, I don't know, JavaScript engines or something like that.
Their intestines go to the left instead of the right, something like that. Yeah, it's pretty much the same guts. Yeah.
But the actual web renderer is the same, certainly. So anyway, Google Chrome is something I've been using a lot lately, and this just makes it better. So I think this kind of puts it over the top.
I'm with you. Paul Thurrott, he's the news editor for Windows IT Pro. His new book, Windows 7 Secrets, is available everywhere. Please buy it. Please. I beg you, please buy it so the guy can buy a car that doesn't have rats in it.
Sure. My car is 9 years old, and it has 36,000 miles on it.
Paul never leaves the house. How could you?
So I leave I drive. I go to the gym 3 days a week, and I go to the airport.
How could you, in 9 years, you're like the little old lady from Pasadena.
Yeah.
36. I put 36,000 miles on my Mustang in a week.
Right, and I've had to replace the electrical system 3 times because of rodents. Yeah.
Farfin Chipmunk. Farfin Chipmunk.
Yeah.
Farfin Chipmunk.
Rodent.
You have the Volkswagen. Yeah. He's also at the Super Site for Windows, and you can read up. And Paul's extraordinarily unusual dry wit shines through at that website.
Yes, it does.
It does.
You might say it burrows through the...
burrows like little rats through the electrical. At Super Site for Windows, winsupersite.com. Paul, I'm going to award you a level up. You are now our champion. We'll see you next time on Windows Weekly.